What's up everyone, it's Ryan K and welcome back to another video of Ask Ryan anything you want about jobs, job searching, getting a job, and killing it at the job. Today I've got an email from Andrea, and what she said was, the emails I've been sending out to her made her realize that she needs to maybe venture out into a different path. Her question was, do I specialize just in helping people connect in the tech world, or can I help her in other industries? And here's the premise of her question. She's really interested in a few positions she applied to, but it's hard to get past the screening process with all the competition. What are the pointers? Well, here is the number one thing. There's two ways to think about how you show up in the list of resumes of people applying for jobs. Number one is, do you want to blend in? And number two is, do you want to stand out? Now, when it actually comes to applying for a job, you want to find a mix of both. You want to blend in to the point that you're not a risk to hire, and you want to stand out to the point that people believe you'll be the best selection. But what Andrea is most likely doing is making a few common mistakes. And so I'm going to walk through a handful of suggestions of the way to approach this so that she understands what to do next. Number one, and this works for getting any job at any company, but it's especially important if you're trying to jump industries, jumping job roles, or anything like that. So number one is you need to know that it's on you to solve this problem, and the way you approach applying for jobs matters. What I mean by that is when you apply through a job board, you are lost in a sea of other resumes that came through the job board. For the average job that an employer posts, they get 5 times more applicants from job boards than they get from, say, referrals. But they're more likely to interview the people who were referrals because not just they were vouched for by one of their employees, but they also feel bad if they don't interview them. So our first suggestion is make sure that you're a referral, not from the job board. The way you go about doing this is you need to be networking into these companies and into these roles. Now, I get that you're going to find random jobs on the job boards, which is cool. But once you find that job, back up, go to LinkedIn, see if you know somebody who works there. Go to Facebook, see if you know somebody that works there. If you don't know anybody that works there, jump into your local Facebook Help Wanted group and ask. Say, I want to apply for a job at this company. Does anybody here work for them? What I want is a referral. I want to be able to be referred in. Most job seekers don't take the time to do this because they don't understand that it dramatically increases their chances of getting an interview. And so that's step one. You need to be a referral. Step two, when you're switching from one industry to the next, you need to level up your presentation that you will be a good fit for that industry in that role. Most of the time, you're not jumping both industry and role. You're moving from a sales job to a sales job and just switching industries. The more you try to switch at any one time, the harder it will be to make the switch. And so I usually suggest same job, different industry. Now, that way, you just need to level up your presentation that you know that industry. And the way you can go about doing that is by number one, gaining knowledge and context about the industry. Go find any books, anything you can find about the most successful companies in that industry, the most successful business owners in that industry, the most successful organizations and products in that industry, and read all those books. If you want to short circuit it, read the summaries of those books. Go find people on Facebook, YouTube, on blogs, on Twitter, on Reddit that influence that world in magazines, and go start reading their content. Level up your knowledge of the lingo and information and business models in that industry. Next up, go find the associations in that industry. Almost every industry, think about like the Chamber of Commerce, but every industry has an association. You can literally Google it. Restaurant Association of Utah, Tech Association of Utah, Hotel Association, Manufacturing Association. I guarantee you will find that there are associations of the businesses and of their employees in your state for literally any industry. And they have events like luncheons and breakfasts and networking sessions and all types of ways for you to go out and get around people in that industry. You need proximity to the people currently in there, and that's going to take both the context, that's the knowledge you are gathering by reading and studying, as well as the connections that happen when you get out both on Facebook and LinkedIn engaging with people. Go find any Facebook or LinkedIn groups on those subjects, join them, start listening, start engaging, ask questions, Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to cover your bases in that industry around, do I have context? Do I know the lingo and the words and the business models? Do I have connections? Do I actually know people in them? And have I created content? Meaning, can I personally speak on that issue? Not speak up on a public stage, but literally, like, do I engage in conversations online around that industry, around that topic? The same thing would happen if you were trying to stay in your industry but move roles, just in the opposite way. But you'd be doing that same exact thing: context, connection, content. Those are the three things that you're trying to do to level up both your ability to speak on it in an interview, but also what your resume says. You can also, the fourth one would be going out and finding any software, any training that's out there, anything with a certificate that you could put on your resume, whether that's HubSpot because that industry uses HubSpot as their marketing tool, or Salesforce because they use it as their CRM, or any type of marketing knowledge, any software like the point of sale software, or anything. There's so much knowledge you can gain online, so many free courses and free videos out there. There are even free certifications that you could pass off. Anything you can do to start to pad your resume with, again, knowledge around the context, the business models, the actual people, the actual topics being discussed, and the software tools and skills you need. There is a lot of things you can do to level up your knowledge and experience with those without actually having a job that uses them. And so those are the pointers. Hopefully this video finds you well, Andrea. Thanks so much for asking the question. And for those of you out there who want to follow a similar path to what she's following, same advice for you. Learn from what her question was and what those suggestions are. If you have any questions for me, I would love to hear them. Shoot me an email, askryan@refer.io, or you can go ahead and go to our website, refer.io/askryan. Click on the Ask Ryan link at the top, submit your question. I'd love to answer it. And until next time, good luck with your job search and with your career.